St. Joseph of Hamilton. We're joined right now by their head coach, Candi Dean. Candi, thanks for joining us for a few minutes. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Mike. How are you?
Doing well. I know it's a game day for you, and you guys have to get ready, so we'll just keep you on for a couple minutes here. But let's start with this tournament this weekend, and I know it's a big one for you. Obviously, you guys don't have to travel very far, and it's one of those rivalry tournaments for you. You'd love to see Hamilton along the road here, but you open up against Shawnee, and hey, another chance to prove yourself against a big-time Division IV program, right?
Yeah, for sure. We're excited about it. I mean, Hamilton always kind of puts together a prestigious program, and Shawnee, like you said, Group 4 schools. So it's kind of our time to go over there and kind of just shine a little bit and prove ourselves to some of the other big schools in the South Jersey area.
Softball, obviously, a little bit different than baseball. You get some of these big-time tournaments, and you play multiple times in the same day. And, how much fun is this for you? I know you guys, I believe, played at the RV tournament last weekend. It seems like there's a big one every weekend to start the season. How much fun is your schedule during the early parts of the season?
It's very enjoyable. I think it's a great time for the girls. A lot of the teams that they play, they usually know a lot of the girls from either the summer travel leagues and the other teams. Very enjoyable for them. It's great competition. It's always a great game, no matter who you're playing in any of these tournaments. So it's good to kind of get these great teams out of the way in the beginning of your season, so that you're ready to go for kind of the later, more important games in your season.
Major milestone recently for the St. Joe Wildcat softball program. Carly Testa, tell us about that, Coach.
Yeah. So excited for her, so proud of her. Such an accomplishment to make her mark on St. Joseph High School, the St. Joseph softball program. Great kid, such a hard worker, great family, just an all-around package. And Carly Testa, I'm so lucky to have her. Such an example for the St. Joseph softball program, not only for the active players, but also the incoming prospects. Just a great accomplishment. She should be proud of herself, and to do it so early in her senior year, I think it's exciting and also relaxing. She now can just enjoy her senior year and just try and get that number as high as she can, to set the bar as high as she can for some of these other softball athletes coming into the school in the next couple of years.
She's now the program's all-time hits leader is what we're talking about. What, 156? Is that the number, Coach?
155 was the number, so yeah, 156 is what she got to break it. And she's got a couple over, I think. She had a very nice day that day as well.
What's the progression been like for her? You've obviously coached her since her freshman year, and, it seems like leaps and bounds in terms of improvement every year. She started out as a great player, but, how much continued upside does she still have? How much better can she get?
I think sky's the limit for her. Like you said, I mean, she came in such a standout. How much better can she get? I think just her caliber of play, she's just been one of the most consistent softball players I've seen in a very long time, probably since, Sammy DePompo, Nicole Pagano. The consistency of not only her bat, but just her gameplay. She pretty much, for the most part, has a great game every single game. I can't think of many games where she has not only brought her A game, but performed at her best, and which is difficult at this age to perform in such a consistent level every day. She's done that for us, and I think it's just such an example for the other kids on the team. So it's such a well-deserved honor for her. And I'm excited for her. She's heading to Caldwell next year to continue her 4 years. So it's great.
And that's not the only milestone recently for the Wildcats softball program. Michaela Power, 100 hits now. I mean, we're talking about a team made up of a lot of stars here, and obviously that had to be a great moment during that game that 100th hit was recorded as well.
Yeah, for sure. She is, again, a great kid, such a hard worker, a milestone and an accomplishment for her, and also, just for the program to have two such great kids start off the season with two major milestones and accomplishments, and, proud of them and happy for them and excited for them.
Candi, you've been at this for a long time. It feels weird to say you're still one of the younger coaches in the Cape Atlantic League, but it feels like you've been there for quite a few years now. Where does this team sort of compare to maybe some other teams you had? That question might not be fair. It's still early in the season, but I know you're excited about where this team could go this year. So maybe the better question is, what are some realistic goals for this team this year?
This definitely feels like a little bit of a different season than we've had in the last couple years. Like you said, it's still early, but I definitely feel like we're off to a very good start. I think our major goals are, the conference. We're now in the national conference, so the opponents are a little bit different. Buena and Cedar Creek, who we haven't played in a couple years, are going to be our major contenders for that conference. And we want to get back to that South Jersey final game. We really want to get back to that state championship game. I think that left some sort of a taste in some of these players' mouths last year, leaving Tom's River with a loss. And, that last game is still weighing heavy on their hearts. And I think that's been their motivation in the off season and their motivation in this beginning of the season to get themselves back in a position to get back to that game and hopefully this year bring home a win.
Is that something you talk about with the girls, talked about coming into the season? Or, you mentioned obviously a bitter taste losing at that level. Does that stuff not need to be said? The girls kind of know what they're trying to do this year in terms of almost avenging that.
It's something we talk about a little bit, but I think, like you said, it doesn't really need to be said. A lot of these players were here last year, and it's something that, I think that they think about or they talk to each other about, somewhat frequently, but it's just something that we just continue to kind of look for and strive for, and it's something I think that motivates us to just work harder because it's all about that last game, and that's what they're working for this year.
St. Joe softball, especially last few years, with you at the helm there, really one of the upper echelon teams in the Cape Atlantic League in South Jersey. How do you guys do it, I guess, is the question. Is it sort of one of those deals where success breeds success? Obviously, you have a great group of kids. Maybe you have some rising 7th, 8th graders. They see what's going on there, and then they want to come and be a part of it?
I think so. I mean, I think I am very lucky, and I'm very grateful for a lot of these athletes and softball players that have come through the program in the time that I've been here. I think, like you said, I think some of these 6th, 7th, and 8th graders coming up, watching the team's success, and they want to be a part of that. I think that helps a lot, So as an active player, it's something that they need to strive for. It's a bar that's set before they even get here. That you come to St. Joe to win, to play great teams, and to play good games and win championships. It's a tradition. I hope it's become a tradition here at St. Joseph High School and for the softball team. But yeah, it's something that I think these younger girls hopefully want to step into those shoes. But like I said, I'm very lucky to have a lot of exceptional athletes to come through currently and past players. I've been very lucky.
St. Joseph softball taking part in the Hamilton High School Invitational Tournament today. The Wildcats will play Shawnee at 10:30. Head coach Candi Dean, thanks for taking the time, especially so close to game time for you. Good luck today, and we'll catch up with you again later in the year.
No problem, Mike. Thank you so much.
All right, you got it. Candi Dean, head coach of the St. Joe Wildcats softball program.